Welcome to techie.com, your solution providers. This is Abhishek, and today we're going to be working on effects in Premiere Elements 14. So as we know, we have a variety of effects, especially when using expert module, because the expert module gives us a plenty number of these predefined effects and presets, which the quick module does not. So we're going to simply go ahead and add media and include a video that we want to edit, and drag it down to our video tab 1 from the project assets. Now we're gonna go ahead and increase the timeline a little bit. Now as you can see, we can simply spawn over our image and go to a particular portion, or even select the entire image at once and start editing the particular portions with effects in it. So for that, the first thing that we're gonna do is go to effects and click on any of these adjustments that we want to do. For example, if we click on advanced adjustments, we can go to the lighting effects and simply drag it on to the video 1 layer. Now as you can see, there was already a sunset effect in our video at this portion, and this gives us a pretty good control over everything that we want to do. And as you can see, these controls give us complete capacity to edit all of the portions of this image. Apart from that, there is opacity, which we can increase or decrease if we want, depending on our requirements. Now going to these lighting effects, we can increase or decrease the ambient intensity of the image that we created, and we can increase the surface gloss too and decrease the surface material in order to give this a fine tuning. And simply we can increase the exposure, but make sure it doesn't get blown out when we increase the exposure of the image. Yeah, that gives us a pretty good and decent curvature over there. Now we're gonna go to Lightroom and simply increase or decrease the radius of this file that we have created. And as you can see, that gives us a pretty good and decent and catchy effect. And we can further increase or decrease the minor radius too if we want. We can go to increase or decrease the angle to adjust the angle of the image that we are working on. And apart from that, we can also increase or decrease the intensity depending on our requirement of the image. I say we make sure that we just set the intensity to where the image starts to get blown out, because that is simply going to give us good exposure and a fine line in our image. Now we can either keep this effect and move on to other portions of the effect that we wanted to create. And we can simply make sure that we only apply this effect to a particular portion. And so we're going to go to the starting and ending points of this image and click on the cut option over here. Select the other half of the image of the video and click on the delete button to delete the effect from those portions. And as you can see, that gives us a pretty good cartoonish view that we wanted to create along with the sunset. Now apart from these basic editing options, we also have other effects that we can create. For example, we can select the old film effect in this portion of the image. So as you can see, that gives us a pretty good old filmish look and hue. So we can decrease and increase the damage that this effect does to our picture, and that's it. Now we can also increase or decrease the color sepia and make sure that the sepia is something that we want to make sure looks original and natural, like an original old film. and we can increase the jitter, which is actually the trembling effect that the video creates because there was no image stabilization in those ages. So a little bit jitter actually gives a pretty decent, as you can see, effect to our video. Now the next thing that we want to make sure while editing is clicking on render at particular moments to make sure that the Premiere Elements properly saves and conserves and works well, because as you can see the orange line over here, every time we do any browsing or previewing of our video, the Premiere Elements actually does a soft rendering. So to make sure that our work gets efficient and is well laid for hourly works, we can simply click on render, and that is simply gonna make sure that all the effects that we have applied in our video till yet is properly saved and conserved. And after the render, as you can see, our line turns to green, and this shows that we have rendered properly all the settings that we made in our video, and this simply gives us more efficiency and more space to work upon in our video. So these were some of the basic effects and tricks that we have to use while editing our video in Premiere Elements. So that was using effects in Premiere Elements. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.